You are listening to Peak One Sports.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Leadoff, heard here every Saturday morning on the Peak One Sports Network. I'm Ashton.
And I'm Tony. Grab that hot coffee.
And today, you can't see him, he's off screen. He's not allowed to be on screen just yet because he's just an intern. Landen is joining us as our new producer. What's going on, Landen?
What's up?
Just man a few words.
A lot of baseball this weekend.
Yeah.
Everywhere. All-star weekend.
Your own baseball this
Yeah.
weekend?
Dude, that's my line. No, I'm just kidding. No, Landon's our baseball expert, so he's going to definitely talk more with us later in the show when we get to talking baseball. But yeah, thank you again. Thank you for tuning into this episode. Be sure to like, subscribe, however you're watching us, but subscribe, especially on our YouTube page. We had our 100 subscriber challenge that we have now reached. We are over 100 subscribers.
Surpassed that. 103 the last time I checked.
And we have our own package that we're going to get into here in a second. Are you going to show? I assume you're going to show
Sure.
those hats.
Sure, we can.
The Bungalow Sports Show, see behind us, or 4th of July episode. Go check that out right after you finish watching us. But they are going to do their triathlon for the 100 subscriber challenge.
Yeah, we can just go ahead. We got these from our sponsor, Apogee Grafix. Some different options and hats that these guys have provided. There's one. And a couple others here. The grand prize winner gets their choice.
This is my Apogee. Okay.
And then we will
Look
have...
like an idiot pointing at the wrong hat.
We're gonna do some additional giveaways that we've talked about that we really didn't announce. We didn't advertise that we would do that, but we'll have one grand prize winner, and then we're gonna have several other winners that are getting an opportunity at some swag.
Yeah, from time to time we're gonna have giveaways. Regardless, we might have contests where you have to do something more in depth, but really just like, comment, share our stuff. If we see you doing a lot, commenting a lot, sharing a lot of our stuff, maybe we'll just pick you for one of our giveaways. Also, we have our other sponsor, Betalytics. We have some hats that we're going to put in there. We have some decals, but they're all the way over there. I'm not going to grab them, but they're just logos for Peak One Sports and our other shows, and then a Peak One official t-shirt will be included in that. So make sure you comment. Make sure you're subscribed. We haven't picked just yet, so
Not yet.
you still have some time. Yeah, maybe just comment a bunch, share all of our shows, and like I said, make sure you go on our YouTube page and find other shows. We have the Bungalow Sports Show, Sports Page, Sports Biz with Tony Nix. We have a lot of great content.
Speaking of the sports biz, I gotta thank you for knocking that show out for me last night. I've been taking a nice vacation on a hiatus, and you can tell I came back with some nice color. Been at the beach. So I appreciate you knocking that out. And anyone that didn't check that out, Ashton filled in for me last night on the sports biz, so make sure you check that out after the
I tried very hard to treat it like somebody else's child. Like when I'm on the sports page, I just do, it's my thing. Very easy, but when you're looking and you have a different background and different music, it's kind of throwing you off.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to keep up with your same energy and make it the same. I didn't want to turn it into the sports page.
Well, you did a great job. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate the shout out. Today we're gonna, obviously Landon said mentioned the All-star, MLB All-star break. We're gonna talk about that later. Real quick, we're gonna go over a couple of things that have happened this week, just so we can recap that and then get you ready for your sports weekend. In Las Vegas the other day, this is one of the TMZ reports. It's like we don't really want to talk about it, but we kind of do. It's kind of one of those funny situations.
You have to, right?
You have to.
We can't pass this
and now that we know what happened, supposedly, allegedly,
yeah,
or maybe it's official. I don't know how that works. But no charges will be filed following an investigation into an altercation this week involving Britney Spears and Spurs rookie Victor Wembanyama, or I guess a member of his security team, not really him. His name got. I saw a lot of headlines, and they put Victor Wembanyama,
Yeah.
and then you click on it, and I knew the story already, and it said his team. So it's like it makes it sound like he did.
He
this.
was directly involved
Yes.
in it.
Las Vegas police said Friday that security footage showed Spears' own hand hitting her face after she was pushed away by security. Spears had filed a police report alleging battery and saying that she was struck in the face by the security guard when she tried to approach Wembanyama near a restaurant in Vegas on Wednesday night. I'm surprised Britney Spears would know who Victor Wembanyama is.
Yeah, you would think that she would be a bigger star. That why would she even care?
Maybe
then
she
again,
just saw a 7-foot tall guy
how-
and thought he's somebody. I got it.
How fitting for her career at this point for this to happen in this news. This isn't that surprising when you hear
I
about
talked
it,
to my
actually.
wife about this, and I told her I don't know that I'd even recognize Britney Spears. Like I know what she looks like.
Yeah, she looks
and
pretty
I would
rough
see.
these days.
Well, I mean, I would see her and think that looks like Britney Spears, but I wouldn't assume it was her.
Yeah.
Because a lot of blonde women, at least back in her heyday, they went for that look.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know if I could tell you. Yes, definitively, that's Britney Spears. That's why I'm terrified of ever seeing a celebrity out of place somewhere.
Yeah, because you wouldn't know.
I would never go. It would have to be like Robert De Niro or somebody who's obviously that person. Not somebody you're like, that kind of looks like, I don't want to make myself look like an idiot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if Victor Wembanyama would know who Britney Spears. You know Britney Spears, Landon?
Not
You know.
vaguely.
Vaguely.
Yeah, so
Makes
Victor
me feel
Wembanyama
old.
probably knows who she is.
I mean, maybe he's only like what 4 years older than me.
Yeah.
Not far. I mean, and he's from France though. Come on.
Yeah.
Son. Do you know who Tom Brady is?
I
You
do.
who Tom
I know
Brady-
who Tom
okay,
Brady
Tom
is.
Brady lost $30 million after the collapse of cryptocurrency company FTX. He was well, it's kind of a misleading headline. He did lose 30 million, I guess. He was paid 30 million in FTX stock for an agreement to serve as their ambassador, pitching the company on TV ads and at his conference. So I guess if you go do something for somebody, say Bitcoin tells you to come speak at their thing, they're going to pay you $10 million in Bitcoin. You're stoked.
And then it goes out.
And then it goes under, and you'll feel like you lost $10 million, I guess.
Yeah.
It makes it sound like
Well,
he invested a bunch of
Tom
money.
Brady's not the only one in that boat because I've lost a fortune in Bitcoin or in
FTX?
well, not in FTX, but in crypto in general, but especially Bitcoin. My Bitcoin has gone down from when I bought into a lot of it.
Yeah, you
But
gotta
crypto's
get,
completely
you gotta
tanked
get
at this point.
on it early and not later on in the game.
Yeah, I got into some of those others
Like
early.
threads.
Yeah.
Threads. We all have threads now. Do you have a thread?
No.
No, I don't have it yet.
Yeah. Are we called threaders?
Yeah, I guess
That sounds
threaders.
pretty badass. Threaders. You're threading, you rethread.
Yeah.
I was trying to talk about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
go
I've been,
follow
I've been
us on our
hot and
threads.
heavy on there trying to build up
Yeah,
following.
yeah.
and a
same
new
here.
following. That's funny that I'm finding a lot of new people and new followers and following new people that if anyone doesn't know, it's an Instagram
Had a baby with
generated
Twitter.
Yeah.
It's a Twitter rival. It's Facebook's or Meta's version
Version of Twitter.
of Twitter. But it's basically like Instagram and
I've
Twitter.
been trying to keep it separate, keep it different so that it looks a lot different. Like Instagram, if you know, you have to have a image, every post has to have an image. This you can just use words.
And you can repost
And I've actually,
Twitter.
yeah, you can repost things. But I've actually seen a few people that I follow that went crazy sharing memes and posting pictures. They actually got a notification saying they couldn't post any more pictures, that it violated one of the rules that you can only post so many pictures at a time.
Oh, I haven't.
I don't know if that's true. I haven't looked into it, but they showed me they made screenshots of it saying that, hey, they posted too much, that this is more of a
I was told
word.
by a Facebook friend, you know who you are, that I shouldn't get that. It was a political stance I was taking. So I even posted on Facebook that I shared it, that my threads page, whatever it's called. I said, I'm not making a political stance. I do, obviously sports networking
Yeah.
and I feel like it was part of my job to do that, and it as you said, it kind of is because I have a new following. I have different people following me on Threads, just like I do Twitter and TikTok.
What I like
and
about
everything.
Threads is you don't just see on your timeline, if that's what you call it, I guess, of just people you follow.
Yeah,
It gives
it's
you a
what-
lot of
what it
suggestions
what it thinks you want to follow.
through the algorithms and AI, and I kind of like that. I like to see that. Helps me to see, instead of these always sponsored ads. My Facebook's full of sponsored
Yeah.
ads now, and sometimes
I
suggested
think that's
posts.
coming through Threads. I think
But
it's just an early version.
Through Threads, it's seems better. Like done a very good job of, I might really want to follow these people or these pages.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a knock on it. Actually, you wouldn't get to. You have to go in and change the settings to follow those people. But then again, if I follow the same people that I do on all of my social medias, I'm just looking at the same
It's just
posts
the same
anyways.
thing, yeah.
So yeah, no, I agree with you. I like the different.
And
'cause
I've even made through my personal page and my business page, I'm trying to make different posts unlike where, Instagram and Facebook, you can link your post and the same thing post on both platforms. It's like, well, what's the point?
And-
so on my Threads, I'm trying to go a completely different direction in the way
Yeah.
that I post on there. So we'll see how that goes.
And also too, Zuckerberg, I know you're listening to us. I don't like when I have to switch from Peak One Sports to my
No, I
personal
don't like
one.
that
I have
either.
to go sign out and then go through it. Like, just make it like Facebook and Instagram, where I
You
just
just flip pages.
hit a button and flip pages. I'm sure that's coming. I'm
I think
sure
we're
a lot
seeing
of
that
people
in
are
an update. That's
yeah, but
too clunky.
fastest growing or early, I guess the quickest to 2 million subscribers. I mean, it was Facebook's. It's not like they started from nothing.
it was basically, do you want to transfer all your information
Yeah.
from Instagram? Yes.
It wasn't an unknown company, but
You don't
yeah,
even have to put your bio, any of that.
I'm a fan. It seems pretty cool because I like Twitter, but Twitter has limitations.
It's very much
Character count. Oh my gosh, I like
Yeah.
that I can just put as
Yeah.
much.
It's very much Twitter, but with that Instagram vibe. When I'm scrolling through it, I get that Instagram feel and that Instagram vibe.
Yeah.
But you have the opportunity to post something and share things that you don't have to have an image for. And I like that because sometimes it's a stretch for me and I'm like, man, I want to post this. Let me just go find some random picture.
It's
I'm gonna
quicker.
put, especially with my business
Yeah,
page
exactly.
or with Peak One, or I just want to post
It's
something.
quicker.
Sometimes.
It's quicker also to share things. You just retweet or
Yeah.
repost it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be a name for rethreading or something, but it's just repost right now.
And
Even
then
on
you can repost
Facebook,
with
you
a
have to hit
comment
share, do
or
this, yeah.
without.
And basically, in Instagram, you really can't even just share it like that.
No.
There's a couple other things. But real quick before we start dig deep into baseball, with fantasy football season right around the corner, I have a great tool to ensure your league can focus on just football. And I'm talking to you, commissioners. Fantasy football. This works for any sport, by the way. Don't let that one guy who never pays on time ruin your league and make you look like a bad commissioner. League Swipe helps you get the league fees in before the draft by doing all of the work for you. It uses a nag feature, that's really what it's called, a nag feature, to tell players it's time to pay up. League Swipe will also pay out the winners at the end of the season. And best of all, you can use League Swipe in multiple leagues. Go to leagueswipe.com today.
As we get started for the Midsummer Classic, All-Star Weekend, big weekend for baseball, and it's even bigger of all the events that they starting yesterday. They had the HBCU Classic, which is an inaugural event that gathers baseball student athletes from Division I programs at historically black colleges and universities, also known as HBCU, with the name fittingly recognizing Mariners icon King Griffey Jr., powered by the MLB and MLB Players Association. This is like a youth developmental.
I almost
game.
asked if King Griffey Jr. went to an HBCU school, but he just came straight from high school, correct?
Yeah. So this is just an opportunity for these kids to showcase some talents and
And they do it at the in Seattle at the stadium.
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's
yes.
all
Yeah,
part
it's all
of
part of the
All-Star
All-Star
Weekend.
Cool.
And then obviously, we come into today, this evening, you're going to see the All-Star Futures game, which is the brightest stars of tomorrow will take the field for an annual matchup and the game's top prospects as they near the majors in their own All-Star game. as well as the celebrity softball game, which is always fun to watch.
That one's
see
gonna
lots of
stay for a
highlights.
while.
Who's in the Celebrity All-Star game?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Always like older people.
They haven't released
like you
the
would have your
rosters yet?
Kevin
Like-
Hart in there or
Or,
something.
yeah, Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Yeah,
or-
but it was
Patrick
like
Mahomes was
older-
in there a couple, maybe
Yeah,
last
yeah.
year.
Did they take that from NBA? Because I know the NBA does that. How long have, or not the celebrity? I was going to ask
The
the
Futures game.
futures. How long has that been going on?
I don't know.
I think they got that.
I
From
don't
the NBA.
think. Yeah, and I don't think it's been as big of a deal.
But the futures is
I
that
think they
minor
are
league players
mimicking
too,
that.
or is it?
Yeah.
just-
It's all minor league top prospects.
okay.
so it's
Evan
different
Carter's
because-
going to be in there. And,
Yeah, so the minors have their own all-star teams, but then the top prospects get brought up to the Futures game. You can come from any level.
okay, so it's just a mix of
Yeah.
high A, double A.
yeah,
I think in recent times it's kind of just been like a highlight game. I know last year the Cardinals had a shortstop throw 101 across from shortstop. So it's kind of just like a way for everybody to see the upcoming guys.
yeah. There's always with the celebrity softball game. There's always a lot of opportunities for memes, and you're gonna see some TikTok short clips on there that are always gonna be fun. There's always fun things that happen.
It seems like Charles Barkley would be good for that.
I don't know
Like,
if
he
Charles
doesn't-
Barkley could run his big ass
But
down
it doesn't.
first
It doesn't
base.
matter though. He sucks at golf too. But he goes to all these pro-am.
Yeah,
Like he doesn't care.
yeah.
He doesn't care. He played with Michael Jordan. That's got to be one of the most stressful things for Michael Jordan. I can only imagine. I hate playing with really serious players because I suck at golf too. It's fine if you're good, but just don't be a serious player because I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I like to talk and have fun or whatever. But I think Charles Barkley would be fun for that. Like Martha Stewart or Snoop Dogg or something.
Yeah.
You don't have a roster for this?
No, I don't.
No.
Don't have a roster for that.
Another thing that I like, it was kind of, I guess you can compare it to the NBA dunk contest where nobody does the NBA dunk contest anymore. Home Run Derby was kind of going that way, but it seems this year the lineup they have for that is pretty decent.
As a kid, that was my favorite part of All-Star Weekend.
But you had Ken
I
Griffey
lived
Jr.
for it,
You
yes.
had Mark McGuire.
Sammy Sosa's. You had
Yes.
Yeah, you had these big hitters. You had these big stars.
When Josh
That would
Hamilton won
compete.
it in 2010, like he would talk about how it kind of messes up your swing. I guess typically players that compete in the home run derby kind of lag a little bit after until they get back into the groove, which I understand. Maybe that's why a lot of big names haven't been in the home run derby. But this year, Luis Robert Jr., Adley Rushman, Pete Alonso, Julio Rodriguez, Mookie Betts, Adolis Garcia, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. There's a lot of players there
Who's the most surprising?
I think Adley Rutschman. I didn't expect him to go in. You don't really. When I was thinking of him, I don't think as a guy that's going to go and hit 15 home runs in his time.
He had 11. I don't know how many home runs he has now, but when they announced these, it said he had 11 home runs on the season.
Yeah.
Compared to Luis Robert, which they're seeded. Luis Robert's number one. He said Adley
Yeah.
Rutschman. He's the 8th seed. There's eight
Yeah.
players. He's the last one. But compared to Luis Robert, had 25 home runs.
One
When
I'm
they announced
excited
it.
to see is Betts.
Yeah.
The smallest guy in the tournament,
Mhm.
but I think he'll end up playing a big part in making guys who are physically bigger than him. They're gonna have to. He's gonna give them a run for it.
And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He kind of tailed off a little bit. Like you thought he was just going to be this big all-star for year after year, and he is. But you thought he was going to be one of the best players in baseball. And this year he's kind of slacked off a little bit, or not slacked off, but paled off a little bit.
I think a lot of it too is people expected him to be like his dad, though.
Yeah. Well, you thought he was going to be by how he
Yeah.
played. Like he was playing really good his
I
first
think
couple
his
years.
swing lends well though to the home run derby.
Yeah.
I think that's. I mean, where's he? He's at
The
sixth.
He's up against Mookie Betts in the first round.
So what's
Yeah,
the
for Mookie
seeding
Betts to
in?
be- so you got Luis Robert Jr. is 1 versus Adley Rushman is 8. Pete Alonso's 2. Julio Rodriguez is 7. Mookie
That's
Betts
weird
is 3.
because that's where you can put bets up there above Julio when Julio participated last year.
Yeah, and then
I think
Mookie's
it's-
matching up against Vladdy Jr. and then Adolis Garcia against Randy
Rosarena.
Arozarena.
That-
I know
Which
that.
those guys look like twins to me. They look
Yeah.
identical. Arozarena and Adolis Garcia. They got the same
Yeah.
I
facial
think they
hair.
picked the seeding based on how many home runs they had
Is
when
it?
they announced
Yeah.
them. I want to say because I was going through it and it was telling you how many home runs, and I didn't write them down and check, but it seemed like that was the deal because Luis Robert had so many more home runs than Adley Rutschman. And it looked like that was the order, but then again, those aren't the top 8 home run hitters. I
Yeah.
mean, Shohei would be on here.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
not-
Shohei would be a guy that's
That'd
exciting
be fun
to
to see
see.
him in the home run derby.
That's no, but
I think Adolis Garcia is going to be a really fun one. Now maybe I'm being a homer here because he's a hometown Ranger, but I really
he's taking, but he's
I
going to
really
be a
think
starter.
he's going to be. I really
Rangers
think
have
he's gonna
5
be a good-
starters now.
Yeah.
We were talking about last year.
Um,
They had or last week. They had 4 starters.
They had
Yeah.
But yeah,
they had
he's
5
replacing.
now.
I don't know if he's replacing Trout. I know Trout's out, but 2 outfielders are out for injury, and Adolis is going to replace one of them. So there's 5 starters for the Rangers.
I like him in the home run derby. I hope he can make a splash.
I don't know. Whenever I watch them and him and Rosarena in games, I don't see them as big home run hitters like a guy like Pete Alonso.
Yeah,
He in game swings like it's the home run derby.
yeah.
That's why he wins so much. So I think they're probably not going to be able to compete with guys like Alonso, Alonso really knows how to hit in this home run derby. He's done it 3+
Yeah,
years.
and that's a big piece to it, like you said. You're right that they can't just go in. This isn't just go in. I'm just going to hit home runs. You really have to pace yourself. You have to know when and
Takes
how to
a
use
lot
your
of power,
timeouts.
a lot of injury,
Well, you
a
gotta
lot
know-
of endurance,
You've got to know the mental side of this. Is when do you use your timeout? When do you
a lot of strategy.
Yeah,
and it's
there's a lot
not
to
just everybody go in there and the top, the bottom 2 are cut or whatever. They're doing it just like last year. We
Seeding,
saw that Corey Seager was eliminated, but a guy would advance past him who had less home runs because it's
Yeah.
all who you compete against. Luis Robert hits 20 home runs in the first round, and Adley hits 19. Adley's
I
Adley's
like
gone,
the
but
format
Adolis
better.
Garcia could hit 10 as long as he hits more than
Yeah.
Randy Arozarena.
Rosarena.
Arozarena. I can't say his name.
I like a format better where everyone just goes and competes, and you knock off the bottom 2, and then
Yeah.
they go compete the next round. You knock off the bottom 2. You compete again. You knock off the bottom 2.
I think it got boring. I think they changed the format back when it wasn't really big stars competing. Now, of course, Aaron Judge is dealing with injury, but Aaron Judge, Ohtani, Trout would have been in here before he got injured. You're not having the best stars, but it's not like the NBA dunk contest where you had G League players in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, could you imagine having minor league guys, some single A guys coming up and
Nobody would watch it. You need some sort of. I mean, these
Yeah,
are at
you do.
least actual all-star players. We want to talk about some MLB draft. You got any information for us?
that again? This is a new
Have-
thing for the All-Star Weekend. Is now they're incorporating the draft in the weekend festivities,
I like it.
and it's going to be on Sunday.
I like it. It's kind of like March Madness. It's just so much going on, and the other professional sports respect it and know. No leagues, no teams that are going to announce any big news
Yeah.
during the MLB All-Star Weekend,
Yeah,
or
I
they
mean,
shouldn't.
You've got All-Star Weekend baseball starting last night, all the way into the All-Star Game Tuesday night. You've got 5 days of just Major League All-Star baseball events.
Yeah.
That's fun to me. It is like how the NBA does it as well. I mean, I don't know if theirs drags on quite that long.
I know
All-Star
the
Weekend?
All-Star
4 days.
game is like Monday now, and I
Yeah,
think
so
the
they got,
big
like,
night
Friday,
is Saturday.
Sunday. So
Friday they do like, maybe like the Rising Stars Challenge. I mean, I know Saturday's their big night because they have the dunk contest, the
a
3-point contest.
mid-season All-Star game is much better than what the NFL does at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know that
Yes.
logistically you can make that work, and in a short
And-
term, and these guys going and playing in a mid-season All-Star game in football, but man, that would be a lot
Well,
of
now
fun.
they do like a flag football.
Yeah, so
You
Yeah.
could just do like a bye week for everybody.
Yeah.
You just do an
you
all-star break.
can do it for baseball and basketball because there's not as body grueling sports.
And
With football, you can't like taking a break halfway through the season to really honestly play a meaningless game. You could get hurt during that, especially with it being a contact
well,
sport.
and
Well,
I
if you
think
do
too
like,
about
well, they do make it. It's a flag football.
Yeah, now
game
it's flag
but
football.
I think too
It's-
about the NBA and MLB seasons are so long. They play so many games that you can afford if you did say had a minor tweak or minor injury during All-Star weekend. Okay, you're out a few games or something. If in the NFL, if you miss 1 week, like that's a huge deal for your team. That's win or lose kind of stuff. But even with the flag football, I think you could still do that. I always loved the times as a kid again when the Pro Bowl was in Hawaii and you had the flag football on the sand, beach flag football
Yeah.
tournament. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, that too. I guess they still wore NFC and AFC jerseys, but they wore their helmets.
Yeah.
And I did like that because you were showing the uniforms. They don't wear their uniforms anymore. I know they tried to do it one year where they all wore the same colors, and then they would have their
Theirs.
symbol.
Yeah.
But I like them having all-star uniforms because they have
I
to
do
make their
too.
money. They have to have a jersey.
Yeah.
But for all the festivities, the home run
I like
derby
the
and all
idea
that-
of let 'em wear
but
their
then
hat.
the game, well, I just think the game just let them wear their uniforms. That's
Oh,
how
yeah.
it's been for. That's how it was for however long the All-Star game. I mean, I know they had done it for probably hadn't been 10 years since they'd worn their real uniforms. But I like that. You go on there because you can pick out your players. You say,
Yeah.
hey, look, there's a bunch of Rangers players
Yeah.
that you can really see. Because a lot, I mean, as a kid, you didn't really recognize them as much because you didn't really care about. I mean, until you started watching ESPN and stuff, you didn't really care about interviews with them
Yeah.
and other stuff like that. Or when you're watching the game, it's hard to tell where your players are. In
Do
the
they still do it like during the festivities? They come up with the commercials that now you can get with the official All-Star players wearing. You can order your All-Star jerseys and All-Star gear.
I think so.
They still do. I remember as a kid seeing that. Especially, I can remember one year when it was in Colorado at the Rockies ballpark,
Yeah.
and they had the sleeveless jerseys, and the names were like not across the normal nameplate spot. They were like at the bottom of the
Yeah.
jersey or something, like or down the side. It was something odd, right? And I just thought those were so cool, and I wanted that as a kid. And then
come
that
out,
commercial comes
East
on.
Bay. East Bay
Yeah.
would come out with the All-Star
Yeah,
jerseys.
I really like. If I see that commercial, I'm ordering a jersey this time around. I don't care.
Well, you got a lot of choices. Seager, Young.
Yeah.
I want to get a
I think
Josh Young
Adolis.
jersey. I
I
think
like-
Josh
I like
Young.
Adolis. So let's get back to. We got a little off topic. MLB draft. What do you got? What do you? thinking,
I've
Landon?
heard
He's our draft expert.
a lot of things about the number one draft pick. Obviously, Cruz is. If you took 1,000 owners across every sport platform and you gave them everybody's stuff, all their draft sheets, probably 900 of them would go Cruz 1-1,
Yeah.
except for the Pirates. They don't want to pay him because they're asking. I don't remember what they're asking for, but it's crazy money for a signing bonus. I think the Pirates are looking at Clark one because you take the high school guy Max Clark. You're taking him at 1, so you don't have to spend the money on Cruz.
How much money is it though?
I think it's like
The Pirates are like this.
The
though. This
Pirates,
is how
the
they-
Pirates, the Pirates don't
are. I mean,
spend big.
they- do it a
I
lot.
can look at it, but I think it was upwards of
So we're thinking like
crazy money.
Cruz would go second, or is he gonna
Yeah.
fall down?
So him and Paul Skeens, Dylan Cruz and Paul Skeens, they were kind of like the 1-1A and 1-1B.
Yeah.
Do you want the hitter that just hit 400 and won Golden Spikes in the SEC and won the national championship, or do you want the pitcher who throws 100 and hit 102 within the first 6 pitches of his game during a must-win game of the College World Series?
With the Rangers drafting Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker and see how those are going, I would take the hitter right now.
Yeah, so I
The
think
Rangers are
the
at 4?
Rangers are at they're at 4 or 5. I think they're gonna take a guy out of high school. I think he's a third baseman. From what I've seen,
Third baseman. You already have Josh Young at third, though.
yeah, but I think he's kind of like, well, when you look at Max Clark, he's a center fielder, but he's a 6-foot center fielder. He's probably gonna get moved around, probably to end up being like a left fielder or something. For us, especially, we're gonna have Adolis. Adolis is he's a career guy. You can't really let go of a guy like him.
Evan Carter
Yeah.
will be your center fielder,
Yeah.
maybe left fielder.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they can pick. There's a lot of guys that'll be on the board
And
at
a lot of
4.
guys move, and maybe just for trade bait later as well.
And maybe
you know, for
it
me,
comes and Skeens drops to 4. What do you do then? Are you gonna pass up on Skeens, or are you gonna take
old-
the
I think you
How
shot?
old is
Take-
Cruz?
I'm not. I can look that up real quick.
And how much is this signing bonus? Really, I mean, in the late grade. Okay, I understand the
that's the
Pirates.
thing,
They're
the Pirates are just a weird one.
they're
like
not
that.
A's, but if he dropped,
Dylan
would you?
Dylan
want him?
Cruz is 28.
Oh,
No,
20.
that can't be right.
That can't be the right guy. But I mean, unless it's like $30 million or something. What?
Yeah, I don't know.
There's not a cap.
And I've heard the same things though that they just don't want to do that.
Yeah, I know baseball is completely different. The drafts are different. None of these guys are going to be in the majors for a couple of years anyways. But yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. If he's the bona fide, forget the signing bonus. If he would be the number one, I don't know how you'd let it go outside of it being higher than $20 million.
So, in the past couple years, like Adley Rutschman, I think it was 2019, he got a bit less than Slot, and that was at 18.1 million.
Okay.
I think Dylan Cruz could take. So this says
Yeah, so you're talking about
the
a
Pirates could take Cruz and offer a bonus of 8.5. And I don't think that he'll sign for that. I think that they're going to have to give him upwards of 9 to 10 for the signing bonus.
Yeah.
And I doubt that they're going to do that. But a team like the Nationals,
Yeah.
who they're not paying anybody, they got rid of the Soto contract.
Well, just
Of my
just for
knowledge,
that
they don't
slot
have
pick,
big names.
That's not about 9.7 million.
For the 1-1 slot pick.
But then you're looking at the bonus pool to sign is about 16 million.
Yeah, so I think the Cruz
so you
camp
are
is looking
at something
upwards of.
close to near $30 million.
I think the Cruz camp is looking somewhere upwards of 40.
Wow. Yeah, for somebody who hasn't played in the majors and won't for a while.
Well, that's what we're thinking.
And it's not like even there are busts in the NBA and NFL draft.
Oh, yeah,
but
all the time.
MLB is completely different. It's not even like, oh, you busted on that guy. He just didn't develop what you thought he
Yeah.
was going to.
Well, and those guys really, like in the NBA, if Victor Wembanyama, if he busts and he gets to the NBA and he's not physical enough, he's not good, well, you wasted that pick. You're not getting anything out of him. If Dylan Cruz ends up busting, he'll just become a career minor league guy.
Yeah.
And he'll play in your minor league system. And maybe one day something will click and he'll come up and he'll be a 28-year-old making his debut in the MLB.
And you're just paying your minor league guy $4
Yeah,
million.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you'll have to pay his rookie contract out,
Yeah.
but after that, you can sign him to a minor league deal.
Anything else, Landon?
I do, backtracking a little bit, I do have some all-star stuff for y'all.
Okay.
O'Neal Cruz, as many people, he's been rising quite a bit lately. So per the inquiry out of Cincinnati, Ellie De La Cruz was invited to participate in the 2023 Home Run Derby, but he declined, and his reasoning was, I'd rather focus on this season, making sure I'm able to contribute to this team and help this team win. So I think in good spirits he didn't want to do that.
Yeah, and you see a lot of times that, like I mentioned earlier, the home run derby, it can mess with your swing a lot.
Yeah.
Because if you're just trying to jack balls out of the stadium and hit home runs, it's after a while it throws off your swing to an extent.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty big for a guy that, to make it to the the show anyways is a big deal. But to have the opportunity to be an all-star and focus on the team winning more,
Yeah.
that's big time.
So there was also speculations that Ellie De La Cruz should have been in the All-Star game. The Reds are must-watch baseball right now.
On just the short amount of time we've seen him,
The weeks that we've seen him,
absolutely.
I would love to see that in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
But who does he replace?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess can they still, if you get some late?
I feel like if he was an outfielder and you get all the guys that are hurt, maybe they sneak him in as a bench player and he gets an inning or two.
I'd love to see him in the home run derby.
Yeah.
Also, did Fernando Tatis get snubbed of an All-Star game?
How many games has he played?
I have no
Not many because
clue.
he's been
No.
suspended.
Yeah, I
But
think
he is a big all-star, and he has been playing spectacular in the outfield. They moved him to the outfield, and I think he's a top outfielder.
There's not a rule, right? That you have to play a certain amount of games.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But
Maybe
is
to be a
he an
starter.
automatic? Is he a
is it-
pencil in every year just because it is Fernando
name,
Tatis
yeah.
Are we
Jr.?
seeing a tarnishment of his name because of that and being, fan voted? That, or do we just have too many big stars, young
I
stars?
don't think that fans care that much. I mean, baseball writers, if they pick the All-Star
Yeah.
team, sure,
Yeah.
but
Well, it's also your own fans. Your own fans are gonna vote.
Do you think though that we do see too many? There's too many young stars in this league.
yeah.
The MLB. This is one of the best times to watch baseball because the game's changing. We've talked about it a lot. The game's evolving so quickly.
You're getting at the beginning of this next generation.
Yeah.
That may be one of the best ever.
Absolutely.
Anything else?
You want
have
to
reach,
talk?
You don't have to stretch for it.
You want to talk power rankings and MVP stuff?
Yeah, let's go ahead and hit some of that
So
real quick.
power rankings as of 3 days ago, it has the Braves,
the Rays.
then the Rays, the Rangers.
Still has the Rangers.
It still has the
Well,
Rangers.
the Rangers do have the third best record. They've been
Yeah.
sliding a lot. But
So
nobody's catching.
one that surprised me at 4, the Astros.
Yeah, and they just did take 3 or 4 from
And
the Rangers.
Yeah.
They're only a
They're
game
catching
and a
fire.
half back, 2 games
Yeah.
back.
They're catching
So
fire.
at 5, Corbin Carroll and the Diamondbacks, which
Okay.
Corbin Carroll I think is up there with Ellie De La Cruz right now. I don't know who's going to get Rookie of the Year, but I think it's going to go to Carroll because he's played more games. That's another guy that
And the AL, Josh Young,
yeah,
right now, anyway.
yeah, right now. 6, they have the Dodgers. I haven't really paid attention to the Dodgers. I don't know too much about it.
They're coming back. I think they're just they might be tied with the Diamondbacks.
Do they?
First place now.
I just have
They're-
top 7 here. So 7, it says Baltimore.
Okay. Yeah, they've just been trailing behind in second place in AL East for so
Yeah.
long, just so far behind the Rays.
Yeah.
And then right now AL MVP Ohtani.
Yes,
NL
AL MVP, NL MVP. So per MLB Network, ML MVP, the top 5, they have Acuna at 1,
Yeah.
which I think he's probably going to get it. They have Corbin Carroll at number 2. Freddie Freeman at 3.
Mm-hmm.
Luis Arias at 4. I feel like he should be higher up on there. Not many guys are hitting 400 through the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't do that. Number 5, they have Sean Murphy. So 2 Braves in the top 5.
So let me throw this out there because you had mentioned this I think last week, and I've heard people talk about it, but they don't talk about the AL or the MVP race when they do.
Yeah.
Is if Ohtani gets traded to the Dodgers.
That is...
We talk about this
That
on the
throws
sports
a wrench.
page.
That
We talk
completely
about this on the
throws a
sports
wrench
page
in
because there's
the
no reason he
MVP
shouldn't.
race.
But if he gets traded to the Dodgers, he's going to be the NL MVP, right?
Maybe.
Well, I mean, he still has to win it, but he's not. He can't be the AL MVP because he got traded.
Yeah.
Correct?
So
Is that how that works?
I don't
or
know
does
how
he
that
get taken-
works.
Does he get taken out of the race?
You might get taken out of that
Yeah,
because
I remember-
so.
you spent your
Because you did
whole
it.
first
That's
half
true.
playing against AL.
Because they must have changed it because I saw when who the Rangers just trade for. I just blanked my
Chapman.
Yeah, his stats were still on there, but I remember back in the day you watch ESPN, and when they get traded,
to
their
another
stats
league.
reset. Yeah, their stats reset, and that's what I was thinking. I was like, he doesn't get thrown. You can't throw him out of the MVP race. I just don't.
I don't know. That's a good question.
He just goes.
I don't.
he
Have
would
we
have-
seen that?
So
I don't
if-
think we've seen that. I mean, a guy.
No.
If you're.
Because typically, if you're an MVP, your team's competing.
Yeah, and you're not going anywhere. Your team's not trying to get rid of you.
If Otani gets traded, who gets AL MVP? Because that's something that
Corey
we
Seager,
we all
Marcus
think.
Semien are in the top.
Are they?
five.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean they're trading off of each other. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's wide open.
Yeah, I
there's-
think if
think it
Otani
is.
gets traded, it is whoever wants it.
Because what are the chances of him getting traded? I would think pretty high. Angels aren't
Yeah.
just going to let him walk,
Yeah.
right? They're not going to re-sign him.
Or
Or he doesn't want to get re-signed.
they're not going to be able to pay him enough money to
Yeah,
resign.
that's going to be the biggest.
So
contract in
it's
baseball
either
this year.
it's
Yeah.
either you trade and get stuff for him, or you have to let him walk.
So it's a 50-50 shot. Technically, there's a 1% chance better he goes to the NL because there's more teams available. Technically, but we're not talking about percentages. But if the Dodgers are the front runner, I'm just saying I would like to see that happen just from the chaos.
What's
Yeah.
the chance he stays in the AL though?
I mean, I guess just as high. The Yankees could trade for him. I know the Mariners are kind of in that
Yeah.
arena. I don't know how that works out, with their payroll, but I think anybody who's contending or right there would want to have
Yeah,
him.
I mean, I feel like
and you don't
everybody
have
in
to
the
worry.
league would want it.
I don't know if he's gonna say only trade me to somebody who wants to sign me, but even if you're not willing to sign him to this outrageous contract, trade him for
If you're
half
taking,
a year.
yeah, for
I mean, you're probably giving up
a
ton.
playoff run.
Yeah, you're probably giving up a ton for him.
Yeah.
Giving up your top 5 prospects and maybe even a couple extra players.
Yeah. I mean, if you're the Rangers, would you make a move like that to solidify another
I-
starter going
I-
into the playoffs?
I don't think so, because think about the people you have to give up to.
Or you might just have to bet your future and then hope that you can
I
sign
mean,
him.
technically, you could give up more players for him, or you feel better about that because he's two players.
Yeah.
If he came, let's say he came on the Rangers right now, would he be the second best pitcher we have right now?
Maybe the
In-
first.
And I mean, he's top 10 for sure.
You have a 1A, 1B guy.
Yeah, 1A, 1B, but then obviously he'd be batting 3 or 4 for you, right? I know the Rangers have a solid lineup,
I mean, what kind of lineup would that be if you add that bat to it?
but
as
what
well?
I'm
Yeah,
saying,
but that's if you
it's
can keep the
available.
people already in your lineup.
it's
Yeah.
it's available to trade some of you're not just trading prospects. You could trade people on your team because first of all you have to get rid of somebody.
He could
but he's
replace.
also taking a starting pitcher position
Yeah.
and an everyday player.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. We make sure to comment. Let us know your thoughts on all that too. Before we get to the thread, let's talk about Betalytics real quick. The Betalytics dashboards allow you to quickly identify the top graded best bets and hottest trends. Betalytics uses AI machines to learn algorithms and create accurate game simulations, player prop projections, betting live evaluations, and best bet recommendations. Use promo code PEAK1 for 25% off when you sign up today. All that information is down below in the comment box. Go to betalytics.com to start betting smarter.
Well, we're here. We made it through every MLB team. We are in the top
You-
3.
Y'all, you listeners and viewers don't understand how difficult this was.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, let's just put up
It
the uniform.
sounded like a much funner idea when we said it before, to begin
You have to
with.
pick up what you think is the best uniform for each franchise and then rank them.
Yeah.
It took a lot of time. It definitely not something you sat down and did all in one stance. But yeah, let's get the top
Well,
3.
this week's thread is brought to you by Apogee Grafix, bringing your vision to new heights. Number 3.
And see, I think we picked the same. We had the same picture with the Astros. It's definitely the same uniform.
Yeah, I think it was the same.
But yeah, I like this again. I agree with you. The number isn't
The number on the pants
isn't the best.
isn't
but,
huge for me.
but it's a great uniform where nobody else can do this. No professional team can do this. Like
No.
we talked about pinstripes, which we'll get to on yours. other teams do the pinstripes, other teams do the N and the Y mixed together, or they do their respective letters. But nobody does this.
No.
Softball leagues, little leagues.
Yeah, you see
they
that
do
done
that.
a lot, but
You
you're
do-
right. This is very fitting for the Astros. It's this sunset type of look.
Yeah.
I
You just
can-
see Nolan Ryan.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
imagine Nolan Ryan wearing this. Landon, what do you think about this Astros?
I don't like those Astros ones.
Yeah,
Those
It's a wrong generation. That's
I
all I'm
like
chalking that up to.
I like their normal orange. That they're just everyday orange. That's probably one of my favorites. But like discluding the City Connects, because those
Space
are
Cities.
those are built to be the best looking jerseys.
Like, honestly, unpopular opinion, if we're just talking about eras of uniforms, I like the Astros when they wore red and black.
yeah.
I like that better, but than going with orange and blue. But these were my top pick for the Astros and number 3.
Yeah, man, you can't go wrong with the Yankees.
Classic Yankees. I don't like the Yankees, but man, those are.
I don't either, but that's it right there. I mean, that just screams baseball. Everyone, even if you're not a sports fan, you like this.
I could show this
Yankees-
jersey to anybody, whether you're a baseball fan. You know who it is.
They know who it is, yeah. Absolutely, Yankees, pinstripes. I don't think they
You know
ever
the
go away from
the
these.
TikToks where he's like, I'm gonna ask my dad or my girlfriend. Here's these logos. Who are they?
Yeah,
And they always get these ridiculous ones. You can't find a person on this, or I could probably ask my son who doesn't really care that much about sports. Show him that, he'd probably say the Yankees.
yeah,
It's just they're synonymous.
yeah. That look there, pinstripes. We've mentioned it several times. We'll continue to say it. The Yankees, I'm saying it now, will never go away from that look at all.
Damn Yankees. We are at number 2. Pretty bold choice for me.
That is a really bold choice for you.
For real, Hab. I
That
just
is
think
adult league softball at its
that's
finest.
just man, green and yellow go great together.
I am a big fan of the A's, especially those caps, the green cap, yellow bill. Like, I am a huge fan. Like, if the A's keep that type of look when they move to Las Vegas, I might end up being a fan of them and getting a hat. They keep that green
yeah,
and
that's
yellow.
weird. My two
I like
picks, my two first, the number 3 and number 2 pick are rivals that I don't like. I think that A's might spend more money on uniforms than they do players.
Yeah.
That's I just
I'm not mad at the choice. I don't like the pants. The yellow jersey's cool. I like that. Throw some white, maybe gray
I
pants.
do
with
like
that.
it's a satisfying look when you have, or a satisfying feeling when you watch the A's play with yellow jerseys and white pants.
Yeah.
I like that in day games, which I don't know.
Like
I
the
wouldn't
pick-
assume they wore these.
The
for
pick
night
I
games.
had of theirs, if you remember, was the Kelly green top versus the darker green they typically use. I like that, which you can tell this hat is that Kelly green color.
Yeah.
What do you think about that one, Landon?
Yeah, I don't know about the A's pick, but the Blue Jays pick I am a fan
He
of.
is
Yeah.
hating online.
The Blue Jays, this is one of those teams we've talked about it several times to this countdown is the powder blues and when, where are they the most fitting? For me, there may not be a team that fits better than the powder blue with the Blue Jays with their color
You
scheme.
have
Blue and red.
and it actually works with their
It
colors.
works
Yeah.
very well with their
When
colors.
we talked about the Phillies, it works well somehow because that's not one of their
Yeah.
colors. With the Cardinals, it works well,
Yeah.
even though it's not the colors. But the Blue Jays, this is
Yeah.
a color
No,
that
that's
works,
it.
and it looks natural. You don't look at those as alternate
No, not at
uniforms
all.
or different. That's just uniforms.
And you can tell on the bill on this one, it's hard to tell on Vladdy's, the hat, the bill. They're using that baby blue color on the bill of the hat as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like this.
I think it works so well because they have the navy blue.
Yeah.
So it's not like, I mean, St. Louis's look nice,
Yeah.
but it isn't like they have
Kinda
no,
like
they have
the
no blue.
Rangers when they wear
Yeah.
it, they have the dark.
Yeah, they have
their
the dark
hats.
blue.
Yeah.
There's just no blue. Like I guess the Phillies, they're red. They're like maroon red. Sometimes they do have those navy
Yeah.
spots in it, but yeah, I mean, I think the dark blue kind of
and-
pulls it together.
We key up the drum roll for number one, our top pick.
Landon. Drumroll Landon. I don't even know what my top pick is. I don't remember. No, you got to do that. Number 1. So if you like this, here you go. If you hate this, hey, we're done.
To finish out the MLB uniforms.
Oh yeah, that was
Man.
nice. Yeah.
How did that work out?
Both Florida
teams that came in,
in the 90s, maybe the same year.
I think it was the same year they were both expansion teams. Now, you picked a vintage picture there with that.
Yeah, it wasn't wasn't a
I can remember
City Connect.
Our younger brother's T-ball team. Remember, they were the Marlins, and that was the jersey, the pants, the hat, the exact uniform. That was their little league team, and I think it was the year they came out with that they came into the league, their inception.
Yeah, their original uniforms, their original colors.
And then that same year, your team was the Devil Rays, right?
Devil Rays. Yeah, we didn't have that. Well,
You
we
had
kind of
purple.
had.
You
We
had the
kind of had
purple
that.
top,
Like,
right?
No, it was black.
Oh, black. Yeah.
It was black, but it was that same scheme where it had the
color.
R. Is that
Yeah.
the R down the side like that. But the same kind of scheme. Those again, I like the white on those. It's like the bone. Well, I
Yeah.
guess
Yeah, it's that.
the Rams
color.
call it the bone color white.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good look.
And then the Marlins, they have the pinstripe pants and the darker hats.
I mean, these to me are absolutely some of the best throwbacks of any franchise.
Yeah, I don't know. The Marlins are such say a bad franchise, but they just don't have the support, or I don't know what it is that they have to go out. That they had to go to the new stadium, they had to change their whole look. Now they're the Miami Marlins, not the and they go the what I call is like the Vice City colors or whatever that Miami likes to do with all their sports teams. And of course they do go back to this for Friday night home games for their City Connect uniforms, but
So actually, there's City Connect. I think
they
it's
go back to the same color scheme.
Yeah.
It's not those uniforms.
So no, I think it is the Marlins. Is their City Connect? Theirs isn't the red and blue. It's like a weird red and blue. I didn't even know
It's
red
like
and
a red and blue pinstripe.
Yes, I didn't even know red and blue
maybe
were
it's
part
not
of their
their
stuff.
City Connect ones,
But
but they do
they
wear
have
these.
they have those, and they also have white ones with that same color. It's all white with
Yeah, but
that
it's
like teal accents. It's new
Yeah.
throwback uniforms.
And
They're
and
that's
that's
what-
what
you know,
they're
when
wearing
they-
every Friday night.
And then when
Yeah,
they win the
that's really
World
nice.
Series, they had the same color scheme, but they had the sleeveless
yeah,
pinstripe and then the black.
yeah.
The black, that was a close second. I almost picked that one, but I didn't want to get slack from you
Picture of
picking a
Pudge,
sleeveless,
another sleeveless jersey.
another sleeveless jersey for number one.
I wouldn't have hit you on
didn't-
that one if you would have been a picture of Pudge holding a World Series trophy. That would have been
That
would have
hurts
been.
though. That hurts though that he won it. That he won it with.
I'm happy he deserved it.
Yeah, guys, thanks for sticking with us through this 10-week or however long it's been. We had a couple of breaks in between, so it's been a while. But next week, Landen is gonna take over the thread for us, and he's gonna explain to us. We're not gonna see any of it. Well, I guess I have to put it on here, but he's gonna explain everything to us, what it is, all that good stuff. So this is the last time we'll do MLB Countdown. But thanks for sticking with us. Let us know what your favorite MLB uniforms are, any uniforms in general. Any final thoughts, guys?
That's it. Enjoy All-Star Weekend starting tonight.
Yeah, enjoy All-Star Weekend. Subscribe, follow us, listen however you listen to podcasts,
And check us out on Threads.
and Threads as well. Every social media platform right there at Peak One Sports. See you later, guys.